I believe that the reason God created man was for management.
Really? I have never heard it put that way.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself.
God will never allow growth where there is no management.
Wow, wow, wow.
So instead of praying for things from God, pray for the management ability.
Everything I tell you is true. Everything I open my mouth and I say is correct because heaven directs me on what to say. Heaven will tell me and I will tell you it will come to pass in front of your eyes. Not behind you, you will see it happening.
God will withhold things from you if you cannot manage them.
When you look at the facts that something around 1 million people perished as a result of the actions of the British and Russian and Nigerian federal governments.
Vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority.
Anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
They can't tell me. No way. When the time comes, it's okay. What stupid country is this? So when you see you try somebody's secret, when you like, you try a secret. When you like it's in public, what stupid country is that? What stupid country is that, I ask you? When you like, you try in secret. When you like, you try in private. They are killing my people. 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 After killing my people, you tell me to tell in secret. The person is mad. Completely mad. Tell me, that's what I said. That he is mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a not man. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret trial. Is the person mad?
I, Nnamdi Kanu, will sacrifice anything sacrificable to make sure that Biafra comes.
We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
the meaning of discovery? It means to bring to light something that is buried on the ground. If you can accept that, then you know that Biafra is coming. There is nothing man can do about it. It's too late. Way, way too late. The countdown has begun.
It is with love in my heart and great pleasure that I welcome you to this program today. Today is Thursday, the 26th day of January 2023. I want to welcome you all to the program today. And I also say, please welcome others and let others join us by sharing this video, liking the video and sharing it on all your social media platforms so that people can join us and get to understand the truth. We are sending a strong message from today's program to the United States, especially to the Secretary of State of the United States, Antony Blinken. And it is important that we talk about this because when we talk about human rights and we talk about justice with conscience, we expect that this United States should set an example and be a role model to other nations of the world. God didn't give United States the opportunity to be as strong as they are and to control the powers of the world or to be in charge in the world just to discriminate, to allow impunity to destroy and to indirectly kill other people. God gave them the power and made the United States a very, very free nation, especially with the fact that we have many nations of the world represented in the United States, including people from the African descent, all of them in the United States. And it is imperative that we talk to the Secretary of State, whom of course we know represents the President and is appointed by the President of the United States. And as much as his position is, he's also the head of the Department of State. And it is important for us to understand that with his office and everything that surrounds his position, he knows better than what we even know. He has more information than what we even have. And that is why it is very, very important to call him publicly and to talk to him in a message like this through a broadcast, of which, of course, on Twitter, I have to tag him and I tagged the United States Department of States. And of course, I tagged the Department of Defense and other United Nations and others. And I tagged also salmonella. And of course, it is important that we do this because the United States represents a very fundamental aspect of global politics. The United States represents the conscience of truth, justice, equity, and of democracy. And if the United States fail in this regard, then it is going to be a sorry thing for people all over the nations of the world, because impunity, injustice, terrorism, and all the likes will become the norm all over the nations of the world. That is why the United States must see this privilege of sitting in the position they occupy now as the most superpower of the world, to understand that the criticalness of their position warrants them to do the right thing, to cause any kind of damage to any nation, to disregard any other nation, to disregard other people, to look down on other people, and to have your own interest alone in your heart. The interest of you disconnected. Okay, I'm back now. I'm sorry, I think there was a brief disconnection. I don't understand. I think the network have interruptions. You know, when we begin to talk about truth, when we begin to deal with the matters of truth, and we begin to have interruptions and things. It is important that the whole world should allow truth to reign. The superpowers of the nation should allow truth to be said. The purpose of this broadcast is not to castigate, but to call for the conscience and the awakening of the hearts of the people. I'm beginning to see signals of network failures. I don't know where it's coming from. Suddenly, I'm going to be cut off and reconnected. But hopefully, I expect that this broadcast will be smooth, and hopefully, I expect that we're going to have a smooth time. I want to thank Mazi Samonepa, who is standing strong and who is doing the needful. And of course, we know that Mazi Samonepa has been working seriously and very tirelessly all this while. For the past 1 year plus, he has been very, very consistent, working day, night, working, having meetings, tens of meetings every day. I tell you, tens of meetings almost every day. Meeting and meeting here and meeting there and working and broadcasting at the same time, doing lots of things. And of course, it is important for us to understand that he's human. And so he needs rest. We have been able to tell him, Mazi, you need to rest. We here can do the needful. We can carry on with the broadcast. You need to rest. And when it is rest very well, when it is necessary, you can come on. We are here and we know that for your resting alone, Biafrans will understand that you need to really rest, based on the fact that from next month and from now, we are already in a very critical period when we will begin to execute the mandate of freedom in another dimension from the other dimension that have already been taking place. I welcome you to this broadcast today. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and you're welcome live. I thank you all who are joining, who are sending their messages. I'll read the messages later. I want to go straight to the message today so that the message can go straight to the Department of State and also to Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State of the United States. We respect the United States very well. That is why, because of the respect we have for the United States, not because we just have to respect the United States, but because we believe that it represents the conscience of the world. And as much as we understand this, we want to deal with the United States, understanding that we want to deal with them based on the understanding that we know that they represent the conscience of the world. And that is why I've come today to remind Antony Blinken of several things that he already knows. Because with his position being the fourth in line to succeed the president after the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and of course after also in the order after the President pro tempore of the Senate, we understand that he is the next person, which is he's the fourth in line, and it is critical. And being the critical chief advisor of the President of the United States, he has at his disposal so many information that if you hear them, sometimes you hearing them will shock you. But with what we know, we are shivering and we are wondering at the level of impunity happening in the contraption called Nigeria, with what we know and what we can experience. But with the facts that Antony Blinken has from history until now, it is very, very important that we call on them to deal with conscience and understand that there are some things that shouldn't be taken in a manner of lobby or in a manner of diplomatic political tricks and all of that. We need a spade to be called a spade. We need a spoon to be called a spoon, and we need a stick to be called a stick. It is very, very important that this happens today, and that is why I have come to make this broadcast today. Now, first of all, I want to talk to Antony Blinken regarding the fact that we respect him, we understand his position, we understand that he is the fourth strongest in the United States, we understand who he is, we understand the details of what he represents, and we understand that he is somebody who has good conscience based on what we want to believe for now, until we begin to see that our messages are not listened to, are not being listened to and are accepted. Now we want to believe that he has the interest of making sure that the globe experiences peace. And as we know right now, he is in the Middle East now, in Israel. He's in Jerusalem now, and he's going on the peace ride. He's talking about peace. He's moving everywhere talking about peace. Right now, Antony Blinken is in the United States. He's in the Middle East. He's in Israel now, and he's going on with his responsibility and role and function as the Secretary of State of the United States. Of course, we understand what it means to be the Secretary of State of the United States. You are the chief advisor, on foreign affairs to the President of the United States and the head of the Department of State also. So you are the chief advisor of the President on foreign affairs. That means on matters that have to do with foreign issues and details, you have very much information based on the fact that you are also the head of the embassies of the United States all over the nations of the world. You have access to very much information, so many information, so many. And I want to use the word much so that it will be that it is uncountable. Much here represents that it is uncountable. You have so much information at your disposal, and you know every detail about the contraption in Nigeria. First of all, I want to bring your post that you made, yesterday to the public here. And I want to begin from that point of your post. You said to support Nigeria upcoming election. To support Nigeria upcoming election. To support Nigeria's upcoming election. Nigeria's upcoming election. Now, the big question here, Antony Blinken, is I want to ask you, because I know you know better than me and you know more than me in this regard. You know what Nigeria represents. You know what the British government actually created Nigeria for. I know you said you want to support Nigeria's upcoming elections. Now you talked about Nigeria, and of course, when you talk about election, you mean democracy, because election is a tool of democracy to facilitate the concept of collective rule and support for government of the people and by the people. And this is very factual in the sense of defining elections, which means that whenever we talk about elections in the context of nationhood, in the context of statehood, we are going to first talk about democracy. And democracy is a product, when it comes to states, is a product of a nation, a collection of people, a collective people coming together to decide to carry out an action that concerns their common interest. And as Antony Blinken, we understand also that you are a member of the Department of State, and you're of course formerly the Department of State was formerly the Department of Foreign Affairs. We all know that. And then it's now the department, which means that your department is about foreign matters, because the name initially was Department of Foreign Affairs. So being the Department of Foreign Affairs, as initially known, that was created in 1789, we understand that you are the head of issues that concerns foreign activities that are happening in other nations. And you are well aware of these so that you can be able to discuss with nations and discuss with people and deal with nations according to the details that you have. Now I'm going to post your message again so that the people can see it again. Your message says to support Nigeria's common election. Now, as somebody I know that is Leonard Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, the first issue here is that you know what Nigeria represents. And if you now bring elections into the context of Nigeria, you know that Nigeria is not a nation. You know that Nigeria does not represent anything nation. And part of your job as Antony Blinken is that you travel around the world and to nations of the world to negotiate treaties, to negotiate agreements and alliances. That's what you do. And the only way you can negotiate with nations is to have an understanding of nations, which means that for you to talk about nations, based on the fact that you have a nation called the United States, and having, of course, it's a nation because you are bound with common ties and you understand yourselves and you are doing things collectively in common. You have common culture and all of that, similarities in cultures and all of that. All the states, the 50 states in the United States have similar culture, at least in one area or the other. You believe in the same thing, you have common interest, you have common religion, you have all of these. And that makes you a nation. And so it only takes a nation to make treaties with other nations and make alliances with other nations and have agreements with other nations, aside things that are not officially national. So when it comes to national issues, the onus is on your office to liaise and to work with other nations based on the fact that it is about nations and not just having an agreement with organizations or individuals. We're talking about nations here. So your responsibility as Antony Blinken means that you have the responsibility of traveling around the world and to meet with nations and have these alliances, with nations, and have these treaties with nations, and have these agreements with nations. And of course, you are the head of the embassies, of the U.S. embassies all over the nations of the world. And those embassies have very good, very cogent, very detailed, and very current information about the nations where they are. You are the head of all the U.S. embassies all over the nations, the U.S. consulates and the U.S. Foreign Service offices, and represent the U.S. abroad. So you represent the U.S. abroad because these embassies are under you. And as much as these embassies are in those nations, you are the one who is in those nations. That means Antony Blinken has so much information. I use the word much so that it will sound very, 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 very uncountable, and all of that. So you have so much information about these facts. And now that brings me now to come to remind you of some of this information that you have. Antony Blinken, it's important that we talk about this, because your presentation, your utterances, and what you represent, based on the fact that the United States is the superpower of the world, your utterances have a way of becoming the modus for people to work on, or for people to use as a program for themselves. That means when you are endorsing Nigeria with your words, when you know that the people in Nigeria, the people stuck and kept and forced in that amalgamation and brought into that contraption called Nigeria, are at loggerheads and are seriously in conflict, and because the people who are not indigenous to the indigenous nations under Nigeria were given powers by Britain to control the indigenous people. And you are well aware that these guys, or these evil persons called the Fulani nation, or the Fulanis, controlled by the Caliphate, are killing, maiming, and causing death, devastation, poverty, and so many destructions in the indigenous communities that are trapped under that name, Nigeria. And I know that Antony Blinken, that Nigeria is only a business name, which of course, by the fact that you are aware of this document that I'm going to show now, I want to bring this document to your notice, which I know you have a knowledge about. Let me bring the document. Let me share it. I want to bring that document to you now, because I know you have knowledge about it, and I know that you have you have every information about it, and that is why I want to bring this particular document to you, so that you can actually I can remind you of it. Let me share the document right now. And Antony Blinken, you are aware of this document of persons who actually were able to let me bring the document up here so that I can have it on screen, so that you can have it here. And let me share it now. I'm trying to share the document quickly so that we can have it here. So let me share now. This is the document. I don't know whether everyone can see the document. The document here represents the. I don't know why it's not coming on. What's going on? I shared it right now. I don't know why it's not coming on. Let me try it again. Please pardon me, please, everyone. Let me share this document. I don't know can you see the document? Can anyone see the document? Let me share the document so that everyone can see it. Let me see. I don't know what's going on. It seems the document is not displaying here. The document is not displaying. I don't know what's going on. Is the document displaying? Please, I want to know if you can see the document. Please, can you see the document? Can you see the document? Oh, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. I'm trying to, let me try to share it again to see. Let me try to share it again to see if we can have it here. I don't know. I clicked share, but it goes shared and tab audio. It's not an audio. It's. Let me see if I can get it now on the screen. It's still not coming. Let me see what I have to do about it. Okay, please bear with me, please, everyone. I want to share this document because this is where I want to begin from, and I want Antony Blinken to, take this as basic. Please, can we see the document now? I don't know if we can see the document. It's a document of about 156 pages of failed states 2023 Nigeria, a case study. I don't know if we can see the document now. I am trying to. I've already shared it, but when I come to my screen, I don't see it. Oh my. Oh my. So what do I do now? I don't know. I don't know why I can't share a document here. What's going on? Anyways, let me go on with this. Let me just go on. So let's not make it waste our time. Now I want to talk to Antony Blinken, and I want to continue on this note. Now, Antony Blinken, you are aware of the document. Of course, Mazi salmonella have displayed that document several times, and I know that Antony Blinken knows the document I'm talking about. The Department of State has that document of even if they say it is not the opinion of the United States or the United States government also, but we know that the fact is that the document itself still carries very strong information that are facts that the United States have about. It talks about, I don't know, I'm seeing the document here and I've shared it today. I don't know whether we can see it, but let me see if I can go through the document. It says failed states 2023 and 2030 Nigeria case study, and this was written by Christopher J. Keenan, Colonel and USAF, United States Air Force. That's what it means. And Colonel in United States Air Force, Daniel B. Gordon, Colonel, United States Air Force, Mark D. DeLong, Colonel, United States Air Force, and Douglas W. Jakovic, Colonel, United States Air Force, Robert S. McCallum, Colonel, United States Air Force. This was written in February. This was submitted in February 2011, and it talks about the occasional paper number 67, Center for Strategy and Technology, Air War College, Air University, Maxwell Air Force Base. So for such kinds of people with such kinds of positions to write this document, it simply means that they consider their positions. They also consider the interest of United States. They consider the implication of the document to the United States. And as much as it is published, and the United States Department, the State Department of the United States, accepts that it be published and does not see the document as a threat, it simply means that the information on this document are very, very, very crucial. Failed state 2030. If the United States have forgotten about this, I remind them today. Antony Blinken have forgotten about this document. I'm reminding him today he should go on the internet or ask the people in the State Department, and they will furnish him with the information. And of course, in this we have the document itself talks about the authors. They are very, very, very renowned people in the United States. It talks about Nigeria in context, defining failure, and gives a vivid definition. It talks about Nigerian politics, it talks about Nigerian economy, military vectors, and military in 2030, path to failure, technology, and all that. It talks about Yar'Adua's point agenda, define definition of failed or weakened state, Nigerian military force. It talks about so many facts, that we all can talk about. It talks about poverty level percentages by region. It talks about the 12 states. It talks about the states of Nigeria. It talks about the 36 states. It talks about demographic transition, population, government effectiveness, Nigeria bribery in selected sectors, and all of that. It talks about so many facts here. But the point here is that it didn't talk about the Abuja Declaration, because everybody is pretending not to know about that document. Everybody is trying to be very smart. Very, very smart in avoiding to talk about that document. Nobody want to talk about. I've been sharing the document. I don't know why it's not coming on. I don't know if my stream here is having a kind of challenge in that regard. I don't know how. For the first time, I'm sharing the document. I'm not getting it out. Anyways, let's go on. So that document, failed state 2030, is on the internet. It's not written by me. I've called out the names of those who wrote it. I want Antony Blinken, please go and check that document written by your own people. It is not. The video sounds low. Okay, sounds low. Somebody should confirm. Is my voice coming out very well? Please let somebody confirm. I want to know if my voice is coming out very well, because it's important that or let's know if it is the volume of the person watching. And Chukwuemeka says the volume is low, but my volume is very high here, and I say very high here. So please, I want it to be confirmed if my voice is coming out very, very loud and clear. I want to confirm. Chukwuemeka says the video sounds low, so I want to confirm if people can hear me very well. Please let me confirm from you, because I want to go deeper now into this message that I'm going to be showcasing to Antony Blinken today. I want to remind him so many things. It's just to remind him so many things, so many facts that he needs to know. And he's talking about please, I want that confirmation. The sound is high. Okay, Freeman, thank you so much. And Robin says your voice is cool. Okay, Robin says my voice is cool. So Chukwuemeka, check your volume. Maybe that's where it's coming from. Freeman says the sound is high. It's high here. Okay, that means from 2 people now we have your voice is cool. So that means it is clear and it's evident here. Now, I don't want to go into messages now, because I want to give these messages to Antony Blinken before I begin to read our messages later. It's very, very important that we get him to understand something. Since they are pretending they are not seeing anything, we want to remind him to go to check the Abuja Declaration, which was carried out in Abuja. We can hear you, my dearest Kelechi, from the Square B. Thank you so much, Square B. Okay, now, okay, all right. So now that means we are good to go and we are good to continue. So thank you so much for that confirmation. I thank you all for that confirmation. Now I want to go deeper to this. Now, Antony Blinken, we want to remind you from this that by now you are supposed to have very good information about what Nigeria represents. You have a document which is part of what is written in that document that I just read out the names of the people who wrote that document now. That failed state document which was written by some members, some colonels in the United States Air Force, written by Failed State 2030, Nigeria, a case study. Please, somebody write it down. If you get the document and download it and have it in your chip and all of that, so that you can actually have the details of all of these facts anytime, any moment. You can go through, read it. It's about 156 pages. Please read it gradually. If you cannot read out in a day, read it gradually. Every Biafran must be conversant with the information on this particular document. Every Biafran, Failed State 2030, Nigeria, a case study. And everything that is in that document today is completely already obvious in today's world. And that failed state is already here. And that is, in the first place, Nigeria is not a state. Because a state is a group of people living in a definite geographical territory. What is the definite geographical territory about Nigeria? Nigeria does not have a geographical territory. It doesn't have a territory. It's only hijacked the geographical territory of nations that are already existing in that area of West Africa region. And then the name was imposed on them as an extension to the British slavery business, which is also documented in this particular document you are talking about. I don't want to go into that document to start reading because it's about 156 pages. It's going to take hours to read this here, but I want to, get Antony Blinken to be reminded of this. First, you talked about Nigeria being a state or Nigeria. In this post, you were avoiding to mention Nigeria as a state or as a nation or something. You just made it look very, very diplomatic to support Nigeria's upcoming election. Today, I am announcing visa restriction for those involved in undermining democracy in Nigeria. Now, I don't know how you talk about democracy in a business, because every business has a boss. determines what he wants based on the profits they want. And in the case of Nigeria, you know, Antony Blinken, that Nigeria is not a nation or a country or a state. Nigeria is a business construct of the British control, the colonial British control. Now, if a colonial means slavery, that means, to colonize, to enslave. That's what it means. As simple as that. It is just simple. It is enslavement. Now, if with the intention of slavery, a particular thing is created, and you are saying you have abolished slavery, what are you supposed to do after abolishing slavery? You are supposed to destroy that thing or that thing created by that slavery that designed that thing. Anything that is created by slavery should be destroyed when you abolish slavery. That means if out of criminality I steal and I am caught and I face the law, and you find in my possession the things I stole, what you do is that you take them away from me and you give back to the owner, and then you can imprison me and do whatever you have to do with me based on the law. Now, if you say you have abolished slavery and the product of slavery is Nigeria, because Nigeria came out of the fact that Britain had put everybody under slavery. Nigeria came about because Britain was already controlling the sovereign nations and holding them down, and by slavery, by means of slavery. The action of Britain when Nigeria was created was an action that had been abolished, was an action of slavery, was an action against humanity, was man's inhumanity to man. And so if Britain was enslaving the people and Britain was controlling the people based on a thing or a particular order that had been abolished, seemed to be devilish and evil against humanity, and it has been abolished, why do you sustain the product of that slavery? That is the big question I want to ask Antony Blinken. Why would you talk about Nigeria as a democracy when you are already saying that slavery has been abolished? If slavery has been abolished, then why is it that the product of slavery is still being held? Why is it that the sovereignty of the nations that are victims of slavery have not been given back to them? Why is it that that material that was created out of slavery is still being used as a tool to hold down the sovereign nations who are supposed to be on their own based on the normal situation of nationhood, normalcy, and of the fact that everybody should be on their own and be able to govern their lives? So the big question here is this: how can you keep the tool of slavery when you are talking about when you are saying you have abolished slavery? By the United Nations Charter, slavery has been abolished. By the Constitution of the United States, slavery is not welcome. By the Constitution of the United States, racism is not welcome. By the Constitution in fact, in the United States, you can't even call somebody a Negro. You can be arrested for calling somebody a Negro because it's a derogatory name. It's a derogatory definition, it's a derogatory word for any kind of person that is an African, and one can be arrested. So why should Britain create Nigeria out of that slavery tendency, or out of slavery, out of the action of slavery, and then you abolish the action of slavery and you retain the product of slavery? That is evil. That means that there is something that you are not doing right. And so, Antony Blinken, please, you have to think about that and change your steps and retrace your steps right now to call for the sovereignty of the nations under Nigeria as your partner. A legal man has said in this post, Bruce Fein said another U.S. State Department blunder over Nigeria. This is Bruce Fein talking. Another U.S. Department blunder over Nigeria, denying visa eligibility to Nigerians implicated in undermining a false democracy. Because the democracy is a false, because it is not genuine. It is still a product of colonial program. any democracy or any action of election in Nigeria is still considered illegal because it is under a product that was created by slavery or that was created by British slavery mentality, which of course slavery has been abolished. So when you keep the instrument of slavery and conducting election under that instrument of slavery, all of them should have been abolished, which means they are illegal. That's what it means. So Antony Blinken, here is Bruce Frames talking to you here, saying that another U.S. department blunder over Nigeria, denying visa eligibility to Nigerians. In the first place, you are talking to Nigerians here. And of course, Blinken was also talking to Nigerians. He's talking about Nigeria election. We want to make him understand that Biafra is not part of Nigeria. So if he's talking about visa restriction, he can restrict it from Nigerians, not from Biafrans, because Biafra is different from Nigeria. Biafra has nothing to do with Nigeria. Nigeria has always abandoned democratic processes for violence and bribery because it is not a nation, it is not a country, it is not a state. It has abandoned democratic processes. It's never even had any democratic process because the process has been about conquest. The process has been about the two legal men here. Antony Blinken, who is a legal man, Bruce Frames, who is a legal man, even if Bruce Frames mean well, but there are still some errors in the words here because Nigeria has never been a nation. So in the first place, Nigeria has never abandoned democratic process because in the first place, Nigeria is not a nation. It cannot abandon democratic process. It cannot abandon it because in the first place, what it is operating is not democracy. What it is operating is Sharia. It's a religious control system, mechanism of the Fulani Caliphate, designed by the Caliphate. That is what Nigeria is operating. And for that fact, we are saying to Blinken to listen to Bruce Frames, even if Bruce Frames is still thinking that Nigeria is a nation based on the definition here. But of course, he says something. The place for democracy to start is a Biafran sovereignty referendum. There's place for democracy to start, which means democracy has not even started. That is what Bruce Frames is saying here. So that last statement corrects his initial position of democratic process, abandoning democratic process. We correct him there to mean that there had never been any democratic process in the case of Nigeria. And so no need to talk about abandoning what has not even been there, what you have not even taken, what is not even there. So you can't abandon what you are not holding. You can't abandon what is not in your possession. You abandon what is in your possession. You don't abandon what is not in your possession. So now we have corrected in there. But that last statement made by Bruce Frames shows this. The place for democracy to start, which means democracy have not started. Blinken, how can you be talking about democracy when democracy have not started? Democracy have not started. The place for democracy to start is a Biafran sovereignty referendum. Now let me tell you why Biafra, what Biafra suffered because of what you allowed in your time, Blinken. Blinken, you are the 71st Secretary of State. You have had about 70 Secretary of States before you are the 71st. And from the records of all the Secretary of States from time till now, every one of you, especially those ones who came, who were there during the issue of British colonial program against the indigenous people that are trapped in Nigeria, you are aware and have details. That means the records have been there because your office have been existing for since 1789. It has been existing. So that means you have been there for a long time. You have been there for a long time. And so since you have been there for a long time, you should have information because the Department of State, which is formerly the Department of Foreign Affairs, have the details and information of facts from the beginning of colonial program against the indigenous people that are trapped in this contraption called Nigeria. You have the records, Blinken. Why are you not operating on programs? Is this another program to divert justice? Is this another way to now you are in Israel, and just about 7 people were killed in Israel today because they were trying to arrest some people, and about 7 people were killed. You're already there. You already ran there because just some people were killed. But we have number of people killed today. Antony Blinken, by your advice and all the details, you are sending your Abrams tanks to about 31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine. You are forcing Germany, and Germany is now sending 14 Leopard tanks. Britain is sending the contenders, and all of that, you guys are sending tanks to Ukraine to defend Ukraine because you feel that the right of the people of Ukraine is being abused by Putin of Russia. But you are there observing terrorists, this time around not a state like Russia, but terrorists killing people in their indigenous communities. How come you are there, Antony Blinken, and you are not saying anything? You are not acting, you are not talking, you are not coming to visit. Even when your people come, United Nations and Guterres comes, he goes to the north and he promises to rehabilitate the same people killing the indigenous people. People who are foreigners to the indigenous people, coming to their land to kill them, and still telling the indigenous people to rehabilitate them and keep them in their land. Now, let me remind you, Antony Blinken, in your eyes, we had these things happen to Biafra people. In your eyes, from 1945, our people were being killed. Even 1929, when Abam women riot, in your eyes, in your presence, Antony Blinken, you have the details, you have the records. Our people were slaughtered, our women were shot at, people were killed. In your eyes, you can see the picture behind me, Antony Blinken. This picture is a product of what you people looked at and allowed to happen. In your eyes, this picture happened. This thing happened to our children. Not even our children. Let's not say our children because they are our parents. Now, because we look at them as children, because we are seeing the picture from that time, from the past. Now, in your eyes, Antony Blinken, these children starved and these children died, and you have the records. Today, you have not called for reports for these things for the international community or for the International Criminal Court to deal with these things. In your eyes, these kinds of things happen to our people. Our children starved to death. Antony Blinken, you are endorsing a product of slavery and saying that you are causing restriction. You are going to restrict visa. You are going to implement visa restriction for those who try to undermine Nigeria democracy or Nigeria elections. And you know within you that Nigeria is not a nation, and hence a democracy under a tool that is a colonial design to keep the people who are indigenous against their will and to keep them under this struggle and to keep them under this position is illegal. How can you say that you have abolished slavery and you are keeping the tool of slavery? In your eyes, the Department of State, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, which you are, the Chief Security Officer, the Chief Security Advisor of the President of the United States, you have the information about this picture I'm showing you. We have sent these pictures to you several times. You have all these details, Antony Blinken. You never said anything until date. Our people were killed just because a colonial instrument, an instrument that have been abolished, but yet the instrument is still powerfully being used today against the indigenous people through colonialism. That instrument starved these people during 1967 and 1970 and beyond. That instrument still cost these children, these people here, who should have been great men in our land, that cost all of these deaths on our people. Antony Blinken, you are aware of this picture. You have the details of what happened to our children or what happened to our people, our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, our aunties. You are aware of this picture, Antony Blinken. Yet you are still talking about elections in the program that killed these people. That program is not a nation. That program is a business interest, and which, of course, your some companies in your nation are enjoying. Yet you are still endorsing this. You are not talking about what has happened to our people. You are not saying anything about these things. You are not talking about them. Our people died. Our people were killed. Their bones were arranged in numbers. In your face, these things happen. Look at how they arrange the bones of our people. In your face, and of course, which you have the details, Antony Blinken, all over the social media, all over the internet. It is there. You can find them. You also have them in your records from what have been submitted to your office. All this while, Antony Blinken, you have the pictures of all these children who are our parents, our grandparents, our nephews, our nieces, or our uncles, our aunties, and are so many things to us. They died like this. Many of them, over 5 million of them, died, and you, Antony Blinken, have the information about these details. You know about these things, but yet you are talking about elections in that same contraption that killed these people. Look at vultures. Look at them, crows and all of that around the bodies of the people who were talking about freedom, around the bodies of the people whose only offense is that they want freedom, whose only offense is that they want freedom, whose only offense is that they want to be free. Antony Blinken, why? Why would you talk about sustaining a product, a business product that has been used to keep the people who are rightly nations down and to keep them in this kind of situation of death? Why would you endorse this kind of evil, Antony Blinken? Why would you talk about democracy and elections in the face of a product created by Britain under the influence of colonial program used to kill the people? And then you still talk about democracy and elections in that same instrument. You are sustaining the killings of the people. It is in your face just 1 year plus ago, Antony Blinken, that we suffer these issues and we suffer these problems. That even in your face, Antony Blinken, we have this serious issue about what happened to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. It is in your face that we have this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in your face till date, Antony Blinken. This man is still in chains, and you represent human rights, freedom. You represent fundamental human rights, Antony Blinken. You are the man who represents the United States all over the nations of the world. You are the fourth in order, in the procedure, in the process, in hierarchy. You are the fourth man. You have the details. You have the privilege of traveling all over the nations of the world. Today you are in Israel, where the crisis is not even as much as it is in Biafra land. But you are there. All these things are happening, yet you have not talked about it. You have not mentioned it. You have not castigated. You have not condemned. You only came all out and posted about elections, which means the most important thing for you is elections, so that the people can be sustained in their slavery, so that the people can be kept under their slavery. Antony Blinken, it is in your face that this man is still in jail, even if the so-called courts have said that he should be acquitted, that he is acquitted, not should be acquitted. He is acquitted. It is in your tenure. You came into office 2021, Antony Blinken, and it is in your tenure that this thing happened, and you have not commanded and ordered that the contraption, the slavery tool, those who are controlling the slavery tool against the legitimate indigenous people, you have not commanded them or instructed them to free him immediately. If you speak, Antony Blinken, right now, if you tell them to release him today, or you will take action after today, they will release him immediately. Antony Blinken, if you speak right now where you are and say that this man should be released immediately, and that if they don't release him within 24 hours, you are going to take action, they will quickly release him. But you know that keeping him is against fundamental human rights. You know that keeping him is keeping over 70 million people in jail and in subjugation, and keeping them kept in the confines of the dungeon of evil, of the dungeon of hell. You know that keeping him is tantamount to that fact. Yet you are not saying anything, Antony Blinken. You allow this evil to persist. You have allowed this evil to continue. You have allowed these people to continue in this evil. Antony Blinken, you are allowing this. I will show you now videos, Antony Blinken, of which you have details also, and of the killings of the people. First, I'm going to show you the video of a particular statement from your own person who spoke about the issues that he said he was going to bring to the nation, or to the United States, which he brought to the United States after he came to Biafra land and saw the evil going on in Biafra land. He said he's taking back, they had the wrong information, and now he's going to take back the right information to your people. And Department of State have this information of this man. But yet, Antony Blinken, in your own tenure, you have not called for the execution of the points and of the facts that the man have brought to you, which we have evidently sent you documents on. This is the video, Antony Blinken. Please listen to this video and be reminded of what your man in 1967 said and what he declared. And even when he said that 40 million people as of then have the right to their life to determine what they want to do with their lives. He said this, and you have not said anything. After this, Antony Blinken, I'm going to play other videos. I know your men are watching. I know your men are listening, because I have tagged you on this video. I've tagged the Department of State. So your representatives or those people who are busy going to the internet and seeking for information that they need to carry out their activities, they are looking at this video now. And that is why I'm going to be reminding you with all these facts. We are here to remind you so that you can use your office to begin to do the right thing for the people of Biafra who have been suffering for over 50 years, who have been killed for over 50 years, who have been maimed for over 50 years, who we are in our land, and foreigners are coming to kill us, cutting the necks of our people, shedding our blood, killing our people because they want our resources, because they want our seats, they want our authority, they want to take our sovereignty, because they want us to become their slaves. You know all of these, and that is why your men, the colonels in the United States Air Force, wrote the book that you know about the failed state. I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to play more that happened here and then to you. But first, let me play the one that happened before the war, so that you'll be reminded of what the intention of these people and what they are doing to us.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or a permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions, coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are, new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only in the two regions.
Antony Blinken, you are aware, very, very well aware, more than me, about the Northernization program. Are we Northerners? But you are aware of the Fulanization program under the guise of Northernization, because the Fulanis control the North, and so they use the word Northernization rather than Fulanization. You know that the real word, the actual word, is Fulanization, which of course they conquered the Hausas and then those in the North to to now go with the narrative of Hausa Fulani, which is a guise of taking control of their territory, and now they call it a Northernization program. You are aware of that, Antony Blinken. Now I'm going to play another video that I want to remind you about, that you are aware about.
George Ware, what brings two American student leaders to Biafra at this time?
Well, I would say that more than anything else is ignorance. Ignorance of what is actually going on here in Biafra and exactly what the details of the conflict between Nigeria and Biafra are. Inside the United States, it's very difficult to gather any real information, so we decided to come down ourselves and to see what was going on so that we could take this information back to students in the United States and tell them what the situation in Biafra is.
I see. Now, I understand that you and your colleague are about the first student leaders to come to this country. That's what the Biafrans tell me here.
Yes, I understand that we are, and I think that the reason that is so is because throughout the world there seems to be an international conspiracy to suppress information about this conflict, especially information relating to the historical developments which led to the present crisis. We are led in the United States to believe that His Excellency, who is the leader of the Biafran people, is trying to create a small empire for himself, and that it was in that interest that he broke away from the Nigerian Confederation. And yet, as we've begun to study the history of the developments of the Biafra-Nigerian crisis, what we see is the age-old fact of neo-colonial interests playing off the ethnic differences between African people to exploit them for their own gains. We feel that the British Empire, the United States of America, and of course now the Russians, are all engaged in a conspiracy to exploit the differences of the people and to create much destruction among them. And it's all in the interest of material gain and with a complete lack of concern for the humanitarian aspects of the struggle. There's no question that if the Nigerians had not been able to get large amount of arms, they would not have been able to wage such an intense struggle against the Biafran people. But the more basic issue is that regardless of what are the political consideration or the humanitarian considerations, there's no doubt that 14 million people have a right to decide what to do with their lives.
What do you feel now when you talk to all these people around? Do you feel, what would you say about the morale, the way you have studied it?
I think that there is the key to the struggle. For here in Biafra, I have never seen such will and determination to win. The only group of people with whom I can compare the Biafrans are the Vietnamese, who have waged a struggle for self-determination for 20 years or so. And here I see the people being brought together by this destructive conflict and an intense and deeply rooted determination to fight, to structure their country, and to decide which direction their lives will go.
The State Department and Antony Blinken, your office, have this information. Every information that this man has talked about here, you have all the details at your disposal, and you understand what is being said. He came on ground, he's discovered for himself, and all the evil narrative and the propaganda used against the Biafra people, and all of those details are now with you. But yet you're not talking about them. You have not come publicly to mention them. The United States State Department have not mentioned them. People have been writing them in books and saying so many things, independent sources in the United States, but yet the official source, the Department of State, your office, Antony Blinken, which you occupy now, have not said anything about all of these details. And yet you are endorsing that instrument created by colonial or slavery program, which you have abolished. You are still using the tool of what you have abolished to still castigate and put the people in subjugation. Is it that the United States cannot stand its ground and see that justice and that things happen to right people in good conscience? Is it that we have forgotten our conscience and we are so helpless that we have now thought about material things which we are going to leave from this world? We are going to leave them in this world and we're going to go away soon. I can tell you, Antony Blinken, you see, sometimes when you're talking, as I'm talking now, my eyes are blinking. Everybody who is living today, their eyes blink, including animals, which means what the blinking means is that one day that eyes will be shut forever and you will be silenced on this part of this world, and you will leave everything that you were doing, everything that you worked for, everything that you think you are, the positions and all of that. And what will remain is your memory and what you are able to, what you have done. And people remember you for what you have done. As long as you can blink your eyes, one day those blinking will go. Finally, that blinking will be once, and that is the end. Your eyes will be closed, and it will be closed forever to this part of the world. And that is it. And then the memory of you will determine what people will say about you in future. Antony Blinken, it's your time, it's your chance, because there's nothing you guys can do that will stop Biafra. But it is, the onus is on you right now, that God has given to you the opportunity to make sure that you do the right thing now, so that your name will be written in the right books of history, so that you will be part of those who talked about in allowing the right thing to happen, even whether with you or without you, they're going to happen. I'm going to play another video of a lady whose father was cut into two, shot after shot, and he was cut into two in her very eyes. Antony Blinken, you have this record, but I'm going to play it for you to see. I'm going to play also 4 other videos of current issues. This will be the last for things that happened in the 60s. But now I'm going to bring the video. This one I'll play now is going to be the last video for the 60s. I'm going to bring the videos of the current. I've played, this will be the 4th video for the 60s or so, or the 3rd video for the 60s. You know, I've played 2 already, and I'm going to play 1, and then I'm going to play 4 from the current situation, and which I don't want to play some because I will be blocked with the violence, the blood, and all of that, the killings of the indigenous people, because of that instrument that was designed by slavery, which you have abolished. You abolished the slavery, but you didn't take away the tool. You didn't take away the instrument. That instrument is killing people, killing Yorubas, killing Oduduwa people, killing Biafrans, killing the Hausas, killing the indigenous people all over where they're found in the contraption Nigeria. You kept the instrument that is killing the people, but you said you took away the flag of that thing that you call you took away the flag. You just took away the covering, and then you let the instrument kill the people. And so we need you to take away that instrument and take away this. And this is the video I'm going to show you, Antony Blinken, to remind you also of a lady whose father was cut into 2 in her very eyes.
Of Biafra.
We've lived in the north for so many years, and the reward the Hausas could give my poor father was to kill him. He was the first man killed in the May massacre. After being chased for some few yards, they shot at him, and then when they got him, they had to slice him into 2, like, you know, when you want to slice your bread into 2. A human being being sliced into 2. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. You know, despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
Antony Blinken, we want to remind you we're fighting a just cause, as the lady said, a just cause. That's what we're fighting. And of course, as she has said and prophesied, nothing will stop Biafra from coming. Your statement or statement of any other person will not stop it. But we want you to do the right thing. It is important for you to do the right thing, and that is why this broadcast is coming to you now on behalf of Biafra people. I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking on behalf of over 70 million people of Biafrans who are talking about freedom, not election, who are talking about configuration and not election, who are talking about a new dimension and not election, who are talking about having their sovereignty so that election will make meaning in that regard. I'm going to play another video that talks about the same people you are supporting, the election that you are supporting, and one of the candidates who caused mayhem and death of these same Biafra people. And today you are talking about endorsing these same people. And I want to play a video, and you're going to hear the voice of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom you have allowed to stay in the detention till date. Whom you have allowed to stay in detention till date. You have not said anything about him. You have not told them to release him. You are keeping quiet. You are pretending you are not seeing it. Everybody in the State Department is pretending as if they don't even know what is happening in that regard. They're only concerned about Ukraine, concerned about Russia, concerned about Israel, and all of that. but the interest here is that you feel that we are not worth it, we are not worth the measure, we're not worth the time, we are not of priority to you, and so because we're not of priority, you feel that the Fulanis can do the job for you, kill the people, and you still get your oil. That means it's not a priority. There's no need for you to come in. If we deal with the Fulanis, then you will want to come in, because when we are dealing with them, you know that we're dealing with your agents, and so because we're dealing with them, you have to come in this time. But we want to tell you that nobody will stop us from getting our freedom. We are determined, or everything in that contraption will go down. The Fulanis will go down. That is it. They have killed us enough, and we are going to fight back, and we are going to fight back to a standstill, till we stop and eliminate that thing that you don't want to remove, that thing called Nigeria, which is a product of the thing you said you have eradicated or you have abolished. That is slavery. Slavery has an arm or a tool that is still killing people called Nigeria, registered organization that expired 100 years ago, that is still killing the people, and yet you are not doing anything about it. I'm going to play the video of this also one of the candidates, aside other candidates and their criminality, but because this one is a Biafran, I want to play a video that concerns him as a connection to other criminals who are competing today, who are talking about election, whom you are trying to protect in the order of election. You are protecting them, and they are all criminals. You have their records. You have the record of Atiku. You have the record of Tinubu. You have the record of Obi. You have the record of all these criminals, but you still want to protect the interest of these people, because, as your man said in that video, it's about the interest of the West through neocolonialism to take the economy of the people, to keep us subjugated, and to keep us down, and to keep carrying out this kind of program that is even spelled out in this particular document, which says that you steal, 100% of their resources, give them 1% of the benefits, and call it foreign aid. That is why you don't want to talk about it, because election helps you to continue to steal. Election helps you to continue to do the wrong things. Election helps you to keep taking the people's things, taking Biafra, taking the wealth of Biafra and keeping them down, and then you give them 1% of what you have taken from them as aid, and you call it foreign aid and all of that. And of course, you keep creating problems so that you keep bringing the aid. And this is what we want to stop. And this is what we're going to stop. And this is what we have come to stop. I'm going to play the video again, and you listen to this. The voice there is the voice of our leader, whom you have allowed to stay in the dungeon. You have refused to release him.
Come back to Azu River once again to ask the whole world to please help us prevail upon Jonathan to compel them to release the results of the autopsy. We want to see the Senate result, and that will also form part of our tweets tomorrow. Peter Obi is a murderer. Peter Obi killed these people. He killed them in cold blood. Peter Obi is the only governor to have ordered the mass execution of his own people, and also ordered for their bodies to be buried in a mass grave. We can never ever forget these people. Azu River must be revived. We need the whole autopsy, not part of it. And Peter Obi must be held to account. Peter Obi, in case you know him, is a mass murderer. He's a killer. Azu River is tested.
These are the people that the Secretary of State is trying to shield in a sham, a false democracy, in a sham election. I don't know if the United States have started supporting criminality, have started endorsing criminality, because of course we saw that in Afghanistan, where Taliban terrorists are allowed to control nation of normal people. And is it the same template that's been played here? Are you still wanting the terrorists to overrun us so that we can now become like Afghanistan, and then all you do is to tell the terrorists what to do and what not to do, and they listen to the one they want and they listen to the one they don't want? But as long as you're getting your oil and getting your resources, you have no problems about that. I'm going to play another video so that you can see also Antony Blinken and the Department of State, which Antony Blinken heads, and of course the embassies of all the nations of the world, of the US embassies and the consulates, and of course the foreign mission all over the nations of the world, which is directly under Antony Blinken. I would want them to see this video also of what is being done to our people by the same Nigeria who is conducting an election under a name that is a slavery tool to subjugate and kill the people. What they have done, what they did to our people. You have this video, but you're not saying anything about it. If you don't have it, now you can see it from here on this program.
Lie down. Lie down.
That's it.
Lie down, guys. Lie down.
I don't know whether everyone saw that video very well. It was cracking from here. I don't know whether I'll play it one more time and let's see whether it will play well this time around. I want everybody to see this, how these men were tied at their back, which is the modus. Mazi Samanepa explained the origin of that tying them at the back. Of course, we have the analysis coming all the way from South Africa and all those, all those during the peacekeeping mission that the Nigeria contraption soldiers were carrying out in all those nations as at then, and how they were treating people, and they have brought it into Biafra land, treating people like less than animals. Now watch it again and let's go.
Lie down. Lie down.
That's it.
Lie down, guys. Lie down.
Antony Blinken, the Department of State, you understand, you all know what this means. You all understand why this is happening. None of you have said anything, none of you said anything about these evils, and these are some that I can play, not to talk about the ones that I cannot play here, that are very bloody. But I have to play the ones that have nothing to do, and that does not have blood and all of that, because if I play those bloody ones, I'll be blocked. But of course, we have some of these videos sent to your offices, and you guys know if you don't have them, you can still ask us, we can provide them. We are still here, and we are still talking about this. I'm going to play another video here where the same Nigeria conducting election is carrying out genocide against Biafra people, and yet you are concerned about keeping an election under a tool that is killing the people, which is a product of colonial program and colonial plan to cause total annihilation of races, not just a race, but races, and of course to kill people. Now look at this other video and let's watch it together.
Everywhere catch fire. Everywhere
They were given orders to kill, to shoot at sight, to kill Biafrans, because there's nothing like law and order in the contraption. It's about subjugation, it's about killing, it's about poverty, it's about starvation, it's about genocide. And Antony Blinken, yet you are talking about an election going on in this kind of place, where indigenous people who are supposed to have the legitimate right to organize election for themselves cannot organize election for themselves, but the illegal material or the illegal tool called Nigeria, which is supposed to have vanished with the abolishment of slavery, is still conducting election, and yet you are endorsing election under an abolished system. And it is so painful. This is another video that is also of the evil that you are supporting. This is killing of civilians, burning of civilian accommodation, and all of that. Antony Blinken, we have terrible things that have happened in Nigeria. You and I know that Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria cannot stand anywhere in the world as a nation because it is a design that is not under the definition of nation or anything. You know the meaning of nation, or what it means to be a nation. Yet you decided to still admit and to accept this fact of keeping this evil. To support Nigeria's upcoming election today, I am announcing visa restrictions for those involved in undermining democracy in Nigeria. And I don't understand what you mean by restricting undermining democracy in Nigeria, because Nigeria does not have democracy, which of course we hear from Bruce Fain also mentioned that there is no democracy in Nigeria because Biafra is the beginning of democracy. As soon as you allow the people to be free, then you can begin to talk about democracy in that regard for the first time under that in the regions, or in that region, that geographical location called that you have given the name Nigeria. But the indigenous nations being free and conducting election for themselves, that is what you call election, not under Nigeria, because Nigeria is a name, a tool for British control, subjugation, slavery, and it has been abolished a long time ago, but yet you are refusing to allow that tool to be taken away because you need that tool to continue in another dimension of slavery, which is neocolonialism. And neocolonialism is paying more. Neocolonialism is paying you guys more, giving you more in your pockets, giving you more, allowing you more access to the resources, and stealing the people's resources in the guise of a so-called sham freedom and democracy. So now what you do is that the people go to endorse their slavery, and you continue in the guise that there is democracy, whereas the people go to endorse foolishly their slavery by another election and by another 4 years, and then they endorse it, and then you now say there is democracy, and then you keep taking the resources of the people, and then it means that the people have allowed you, after all, it's democracy, they voted them, so they voted, and they are the ones who permitted it. Now we have said we're not going to permit it in Biafra land. You can conduct your election in Nigeria, but Biafra land is not part of Nigeria. We have vowed that we shall not endorse. As I replied to you yesterday, I said we don't hear anything about those being killed, but election is always more important than people's lives. This is a proof of what the interest is all about. This is a proof, of course, of interest, the proof of the interest of the United States. Because if Antony Blinken is talking in this regard, it simply means that he's talking and representing the whole of the United States officially by what he has tweeted. And we say we have vowed and there will be no election in Biafra land. Nigeria can have its election as you want, but not in Biafra land. And this is our vow. And of course, we have a legal person here who understands it. He says the place for democracy to start is a Biafran sovereignty referendum. Biafran sovereignty referendum, BSR. Biafran sovereignty referendum. If you are going to talk about election or democracy, then you must allow referendum. Referendum is the first action of democracy that guarantees election or democracy to elect leaders, because referendum defines our collective interest. If you have not defined the collective interest of the people, then you cannot be talking about electing anything to carry on to represent the people. How can there be a representation of the people when there have not been a definition of collective interest? Collective interest is the first thing. The first thing in any agreement, even as, of course, your office, Antony Blinken, entails. When you go around all over the nations of the world and you're consenting to treaties, to alliances, and to agreements, the first thing is that there have to be an agreement, or that there have to be this collective interest. And once you have been able to confirm collective interest and justification to that fact of the collective interest for mutual benefits, the next thing is that you go into that agreement. And that agreement is like a democratic endorsement of that collective interest. So if you have not got the interest of the people defined, whether they are going to be together or they're going to be on their own, you cannot impose an election when the people have not agreed. The people must agree to the terms of election only when they have agreed that they want to have anything to do with one another. Because the peoples are different. The peoples here, because we're talking about different nations, the peoples are different. The people of Oduduwa are different from the people of Biafra, different from the people of Hausa, the Juguns, and all those people, and Bagis and Buaris, Nupe, and all those people. We are different. You cannot tell us to go to endorse a government when we have not even determined that we want to stay together. How do we stay under that government? That is the focus. So this message is to Antony Blinken. Your office is very important. We call on you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. He's still being held. Mazi Simon Ekpa has become a problem to every one of you because he's standing on the truth. We are not going to take any kind of election in any of the territory of Biafra. We're not going to accept that. And that is the fact. And that is the fact. And I'm going to stop this here because I've shown you evidences, I've given you evidences, I've sent the messages. The messages are not to disregard your office. The message is not to insult you. The message is not to castigate you. The message is just to tell you to do the right thing. Because even when you don't do the right thing, it will only work against you, but you can't stop Biafra from coming. No matter who and wherever anybody is positioned, no matter who it is, however highly positioned you are all over the nations of the world, as long as the people of Biafra is concerned, you cannot stop us from getting our sovereignty. Because that is what Chukwu Okike, God of Abraham, Chukwu Okike Abiyama, the God of Abraham, Elohim, has ordained. You can't fight God. When you fight the people, you fight God and you will lose. You can't fight the people, you can't fight God. I appreciate everyone who have sent the messages. If you want to call in and you have a voice or something you want to tell Antony Blinken or the Department of State, you can call in right now. The number, of course, some of you have the number. I'm still going to call it out to you. +212 707 898 194. We want to talk to the conscience of the United States. We want to talk to the conscience of the United Nations. We want to talk to the conscience of people, peace-loving people, and democracies of the world. We want to talk to the conscience of leaders of the world. We are appealing and we are speaking to you this day to understand the implication of ignoring this message, to understand the implication of ignoring Biafra. It is not going to tell well on your nation. I tell you, we can promise you that. Because if you ignore this, you are going to get yourself seriously in trouble. And I want anybody who wants to call in to also address this fact and address the Secretary of State, any other people, the Department of State, you can call in now. I have a call already. The call is here. The first caller here. You are welcome live to the program. Please, you can go on your live and direct on Biafra Global Network. Speak to Antony Blinken and the Department of State.
Biafrans, greetings, one and all. I just want to use the opportunity to support what you say and lend my voice to Mr. Blinken. Just want to tell Mr. Blinken, please blink and don't let yourself to be hypnotized.
That's right.
We know that it is difficult to have power, to be in your position. That most of the time you are compelled to do things that are against your own conscience. But it's an opportunity of trial for you, Mr. Blinken. It's an opportunity for you to show that there is still humanity.
That's right.
Not even God can work in Nigeria because God in the first place will say, no, this is not my creation, it's nigger area. Anyway, we like to be realistic and we respect even every nation. We respect the Latin, and nigger is the Latin name. So we pronounce the name to show that we understand and, we think deep at what we are dealing with. So nigger area is a place that not even God will even start working because God knows that God will just disappoint himself or going against himself in working in there. So God will first of all separate the nations that amalgamated there. So that simply means no angel can make that place work. And we know the Ga area very well that you cannot deal with them without bribery. They put the money everywhere, but money cannot buy you your happiness, your conscience. So right now is an opportunity for you to prove otherwise. And that doesn't mean that if you don't, that you are going to succumb, because it's our life that we have the right to defend. So we are not backing up, but we are working for humanity. This is why we are just trying to encourage you. We know how difficult it is, and because of the nation surrounding US and everything. And again, on top of that, the interest, the bribery and corruption that is deeply rooted in the Niger area. And this is a jihadi war as well. So you are doing it for your nation. Because this is going to be a place, if we allow them, they're going to be launching pad of attack to the west everywhere. So don't let the temptation or the money that they must have given to you, don't let it to make you weigh down your conscience. Mr. Blinken, please blink. This is the reality. These people you are dealing with, you are seeing, Biafrans, we are too far into the light for us to go and embrace the darkness. Just don't let anybody deceive you, or because it's a war that is justice is on our side. We're going to win it for sure, and we will never back down. This is one thing you should just let that be very, very clear. It's love that we are showing in explaining all these things. Don't let their involvement and soiling up of hands get you down. We can give them back the money. We know what to do about it. We can tell you can even become a whistleblower against anybody just for your conscience sake. You will be happy. You will be happy because it doesn't make sense to work against one's conscience. It will be paying wise pound quick to work against one's conscience. So it's good to rule your conscience first of all before you even rule a city. It is even easier to rule a city than to rule one's own conscience, self-control. So, Mr. Blinken, Biafrans are not blinking because we cannot sleep with two eyes closed. We don't blink anymore because you bring the jihadists to kill at will. And you all know this. You know that Nigeria is a safe haven for all terrorists on earth. We have over 12 of them. There you know. So we have no choice than not to blink. You have the right to keep blink and do the right thing. But we don't blink until freedom is secured for our lives.
That's right.
Blessings. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. That was a strong one. Thank you. Very, very articulate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Let's pick the next call here. We have the next call coming in. Please, you can go on and talk to Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, and of course the Department of State.
Hello?
Yes, please go on. You are live and direct on the program.
Thank you very much for your good work. I just want to use this opportunity to talk to Mr. Blinken. Mr. Blinken, I'm not begging you to keep up from Biafra. I'm not begging. That's why Russia people hate you people. I don't know why some of Americans, top officials, behave all this way. You know the truth. Antony Blinken, you know the truth. You know everything about Nigeria. You people are so corrupt. You people are so corrupt. That's why you people push Jonathan away with Obama and co. You people know the truth. You are the sponsor. You are the because of what you will benefit. You keep up from Biafra. We are going home. We are not your slaves. We are human beings like you people. Nobody, you are not begging you. You are not God. You are not God. What is wrong with you people? That's why Russian people hate you people. Some countries hate you people. Why Americans are behaving like this? That's why Trump is more better than you people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think he would hear it. Definitely his representatives are listening very, very much. We know that they listen. They don't joke with some things like this, especially when they're attacked. Thank you so much for that. The line is open. Margaret Jogwe, you were calling initially. You can still call back. The line +212. You have a message for Antony Blinken to encourage him, to tell him, but he cannot stop Biafra. But we have to still talk to him, talk to his conscience. Let them do the right thing. Let the United States do the right thing. Department of State do the right thing. Antony Blinken do the right thing. +212 707 898-194. I'm going to display the number so that you can get it. +212-707-898-194. You can call in if we have 2 more calls. Then we're done. We have 2 more calls at least. You want to talk to him. You have something God have laid in your heart to talk to him, because of course God says you should warn the people. When you warn them, you tell them with the word of God. If they listen, good for them. If they don't listen, you have done your own job. That is what I've done now. We have done our own job. Those of us who are going to be speaking, who are speaking also to Antony Blinken through this medium, we have done our job. If he listens, that's not our if he listens, then fine. He has actually accepted the word of God, and God will reward him. But if he refuses to listen, then he knows that he's going to face the wrath of God, and it's going to be between him and God. But we are secure because we have saved our own conscience, and we have played our role and our part. But that won't stop us from getting freedom. We are going to get Biafra. We're going to get our freedom. We have 38 days to go, and the countdown is still on. We are going home, and nothing will stop it. So Antony Blinken is an opportunity to be part of this history that is to be made. Any other call? If I wait again for a few times and there's no call, then would leave it. There's a call coming in right now. You're live and direct on the program, live on Biafra Global Network. Please, you can go on and speak to the people and speak to the world. Speak to Antony Blinken too. Yes, please, can you hear me?
Good evening. Antony Blinken, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Biafrans worldwide. Good evening. Something happened in America, I think 2 days ago. Okay. The people in authority, they are still looking for the perpetrators of that mayhem. An assailant went into a family and killed everybody, including an 8-month-old baby. Antony Blinken should peruse into what is happening in the Biafran land and see if he was to be the person in charge, if he is in the see the lives of those that were killed in America as being important. God damn it, that is the same way the people of Biafra also perceive themselves to be human beings. Antony Blinken, leave the Biafrans to go. The same thing, just as the last caller said, this was what you people and Obama did. Okay, even in Libya, you take away Gaddafi. Today, what is Biafra state is like today? What is Libya state is today? You people will go into people's country, ruin the places and leave them in penury. Antony Blinken, could you just leave us alone? The killing of our people, it is too much. You people is not interceding. You said Africans are the least important people to you people, that you have other tangible, issues to deal with. Why then are you interfering in the election that is about to be taken in Nigeria? You said Africans are the least of your worries. Why then do you see the election in Nigeria so paramount that people are issuing warnings? Okay, restricting visas. Antony Blinken, the way you cherish your American people is the way we Biafrans will cherish our own people. Do you understand me? You people don't go into any country that you will not milk them dry. That is why Russians and other intelligence countries don't want you people around. Americans and British, you people are hypocrites. I tell us, leave the Biafrans alone, let them go. If you want to eat your Nigeria, go eat your Nigeria. I rest my case. Thank you, Kelechi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was powerful and precise. Well articulated. Antony Blinken, the United Nations, leave us alone and don't interfere on our issue. We are not part of Nigeria. We're not Nigeria. Don't call us Nigerians. We're not part of Nigeria. For myself personally, I have renounced Nigeria. 1st of January, I deleted everything that has to do with me and Nigeria, documents, anything that concerns any kind of document, including school documents. I renounced them. So we're not Nigerians. We are Biafrans, and that is what I am. That is who I am, and that's what we are. And we are talking, and that's what our sister also have said. We are Biafrans. So please don't link us. Don't get us involved in that matter. We are not interested in anything that has to do with Nigeria. Nigeria is only a tool that was created by the British, which of course you are aware of, and you are still using that tool, even if you are telling us that slavery has been abolished. So that's it. Thank you so much for that contribution. For those of us who have called in, it's been very powerful. I appreciate you guys for your calls, and I thank you all for your calls. Let me quickly go to the messages to see if I can just quickly go through and then talk about what you are saying here and then know what's on your mind. We have hello Biafra, blah blah. Okay, Iwu Biafra. Thank you so much, Iwu Biafra. Adjambo is the first person to have sent a message. Noel and Adjambo, thank you so much for your message. I appreciate you guys, and of course, you guys are doing great and being here always. And let me just go straight and see if I have anything in the message column that speaks of something that is important that I have to mention here. Obioma says we move, and yes, that's what we are doing. We are moving. Neolin says we stand with Simon Ekpa. Of course, we stand with him, and we want him to rest also, and he will rest for us and be strong in this time so that we can stand tall to the cause that is ahead of us. Definitely my support for Simon is even more. Thank you so much, Aubrey's Dishes, for that, and it is very, very much for us also. Don't mind them. They are rogue nations. Yeah, so that's the nations that are trying to fight and stop us. God bless you, Mazikachi. Blessing, Opoku. The reference, well, which language is that? So, anyways, let me Project Breakthrough package for your life, health, and wellness. Good afternoon, Brother Kelechi. Good afternoon to you, my brother. God bless you too. Everest, Emedo, good morning. Mazi Kelechi, good morning to you too, Everest. Thank you so much. Thank you, Everest. Emedo said we stand with Simon Ekpa. Of course, we do, and we continue to stand with him. Seth and one Ochie says we stand with Simon Ekpa. Yes, we do, and we'll continue to do the same thing. Gwidi says, I salute you, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much. Gwidi, my brother, it's been a while. Have a blessed day, my brother. Thank you so much, and you too. Have a blessed day. John Almeida is here. Rebecca Sharon, God bless you, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's been a while. I saw you. Thank you so much, and also good to have you, John Almeida. Say good afternoon, Brother Kelechi. Thank you so much, John. Thank you. Good afternoon to you also. Freeman says good evening from Spain, Mazi Kelechi. Yes, all the way from Spain, Freeman. Thank you so much for your message, Freeman. Thank you so much. Nigeria is just a business name, and that is what it is. And of course, the facts are there on the internet that it's just a business name. However, Amado says these people should understand there is no democracy in Nigeria. Nigeria is ruled by a former military dictator who is applying the same dictatorship in civilian rule. It's not even because it's been ruled by a dictatorship or something. Nigeria is not a democracy because you cannot talk about a democracy in a contraption that's not a nation. No business runs democracy. If you go open a company, does a company operate democracy? No company operates democracy. So Nigeria cannot operate democracy. Every company have their rules. When you come in, they tell you if you do nonsense, they fire you. If they don't want your ideas, they don't take it. No company operates democracy. So using Nigeria as a case study, Nigeria is a business name, so it cannot operate democracy. So how can you talk about democracy in a business name, in a business contraption, a corporation? A business corporation? It's not possible. So it's not even a nation in the first place. So we can't even talk about democracy, not to even talk about any dictator or whoever is doing whatever. That's their business. If they put anybody, of course, what do you expect? Businesses are run by dictators. Those who run companies, they run it like dictators. If you have the most person having the most money, is the one who is dictating or calling the shots, dictating the pace. So that's it. That's how businesses are run. And today, that's how it is. Today, the Fulanis control the resources and they call the shots. The people who are supposed to be the owners of the resources are now slaves to them, and the people are the ones begging them to give them something. That is it. That's how it is in businesses. But in nations, it's not so. That's why you talk about democracy in nations. Margaret Ojogwe, concurring yes to something I said initially. Robin Obi says not okay. Talking about okay, let me skip those places where we're talking about the picture. I mean the document I wanted to display not coming up. So let's go to Aubrey's Dishes here now. He said he's in Israel causing mischief. He's really causing mischief because I don't know what they went to Israel to do. They just have to travel because their office made them travel. They just travel. The places they are supposed to go that is that the trouble is, they don't go there. They just go somewhere else. And you begin to wonder, is it the same world that we're in and the same heart that we all have? What kind of hearts do these people have? I don't understand. What kind of hearts do they have? What kind of hearts do they have? Tina Martinson says, I greet every Umuchineke in the house. Thank you so much, Tina. I greet you also. I greet you also. Thank you, Everett. Emedo says, the same military dictator has turned Nigeria into a terrorist country. Nigeria is not a country. Emedo, Everest. Nigeria is not a country. It's a dictatorial program used by the British, employing the Fulanis to control the indigenous people who are supposed to be the countries and the nations. The indigenous people are the ones who are the nations and the countries, not the name Nigeria itself. The name Nigeria itself is a terrorist organization, is a business organization that is fused with terrorism programs to use to overrun the people, the nations, then force them to be slaves, and then make that Nigeria contraption a nation by converting Fulani to be the owners of everything. And then they will now establish it as a nation. Chukwemeka says the video sounds low. Okay, that was when you were talking about the video high and all of that. So we have passed that. Okay, let's go further. We have a message from Flora. It says, all hail Biafra, God bless and protect you, Brother Kelechi, and all true Biafrans here. Thank you so much now. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Flora, for that. And thank you. And I say, set your prayer. We can hear you, my dearest Brother Kelechi, the square B, okay? So let's go to the next. Greetings, everyone. Franca says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Franca Okonkwo, thank you so much for joining, for being here, as always. Somehow skip and jumpy. Okay, talking about the video, right? Okay, Onyeka Chiku. Okay, thank you so much for that. And well, thank you for reminding the useless Blinken. Let's believe that he is useful, so that he will do the right thing. We are giving him the chance of, God is giving him the chance of doing the right thing. So let him do the right thing. Onyeka Chiku says, greetings, Mazi Kelechi, ladies and gents in the room. Thank you so much, Onyeka. It's been a while. Where have you been? Rudy Nadi says, good morning, Kelechi. You are doing a great job. Open Umokoko's minds. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruby. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your message. Thank you so much. And we have Ulo Care says, we stand with Simon Ekpa. Yes, we stand with him, and we stand with him always. Chibueze says, we stand with Simon Ekpa. Yes, of course. Chibueze already. Oh, we stand with Simon Ekpa. Good to have you here. Thank you so much, Chibueze. Chibueze already says that we stand with Simon. Okay, I think I've done it before. And of course, let's have the next message. Everett says, Mazi Kelechi, how do we make sure Antony Blinken gets this message? They will get it. I've already tagged them. See, once they are tagged, they will get somebody to watch that thing to know whether it's something that will be criminal that they can use against the person who is talking or whatever. They want to get the message from there. They are they always plunge into everything. They want to get into every fact. So as much as I've tagged them, I'm still going to tag them again, copy the video on Twitter. I'm going to tag them again and get them to, and they'll watch it, they'll listen to it. They want to know what is being said about Antony Blinken. They want to know what is being said about the United States, because they are very sensitive to information that concerns them. They're looking for every information they need, because they know that there is this issue of setups and facts all over the place, and things happen secretly that they need to actually secure their own interests. So that's it. We have Everest Meadow says, okay, I've mentioned it. And we have my sister here. She says, Mercy says, Mercy Destiny, we stand with Simon Ekpa. Yes, we do. We stand with him. We continue to stand with him. I'm just budging. Sorry about that. Obrig's dishes, they encourage evil because they benefit from it. Yes, that's it. That's it. They benefit. They don't come to talk when they don't benefit from what they are talking about. So that's the fact. So HK Kingsley says, Everest, how to make the message reach them is to declare Biafra next month and stand to defend our Biafra nation with everything available to our disposal. Yes, as much as this message is being preached, then most way to make them now to speak is to declare Biafra. No, that's what we're going to do. For Blinken, it is all about their interest. John Almeida, yes, supporting Israel, Ukraine, Iran is the main, in the name of against bad regime, they claim, but create blind eyes towards Biafra. That's what they are doing, because they feel that the Fulanis are doing the job, so they don't need to come here. It's not a priority. The Fulanis are doing the job. They're still getting their resources. They're still getting everything they are getting from Nigeria soil, from the earth of Nigeria, as long as the Fulanis are still in control. And just attack the Fulanis, you see them coming on. Their media will come. Everybody will come. You know why? The Fulanis who are working for them, who are their managers in that company called Nigeria, is being attacked. So that's when they will come in. But now we are talking and doing what we are doing. They are not saying anything. They are still talking about election because they know that the Fulanis are still in control. Let's stop them. Let's declare Biafra. Declare Biafra. We'll see what is going to happen. Their media all over will focus on this place and they'll start making statements. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to call them. Thank you so much, my brother, for saying that. You know, my brother, okay. Okay, that message was by AGK Kinsley. All right, AGK Kinsley, thank you. That message is from you, so sorry about that. Project Breakthrough says, any support for Nigeria election now means support for slavery, ethnic cleansing, and all the atrocious activities taking place there. And that's it. That's just the fact. You can support election and still think that you are not supporting evil. Biafra must come. He say, share this live broadcast. Please share and like the video. Once you like the video, other people will want to watch what you like, because when they see the number of likes so much and so many, they want to also be part of it. They want to know what you like. And from there, you declare the message and we send the message to them. So please like the video and share, as Biafra must come has told us. And please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe also, so that we can increase our position on social media and on YouTube. So it's very, very important. You know, Everett, we have to make the message reach them by stopping election next month by all means. HK, yes, that's it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stop it by all means. Biafra must come. He says, press the like button. Everyone watching, please press the like button. Please, 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 we beg you, do that. It's very important. We are ambassadors of truth, and we must do what we have to do. We must do all of that because it is very, very necessary. You know, face red heart. Face red heart, shape, face red. Oh my God, these things you guys posted sometimes amuses me. Text green over text green over text. Oh Lord have mercy. That is it a code? And Biafra must come says MK is another Jesus Christ on earth. Period. That is, we're not saying that he's the Christ, the Messiah. No, but he's in that context of you know, description, simile. You know that let's say it's simile that you know, figure of speech. Being used at this point, you know, to describe him as Christ, you know, doesn't mean that we're saying he's the Christ. Anyways, we have the Christ, the Savior, and who is the living God. So he's in the deity, you know, it's not the one we're talking about. Educators say we have to summon courage and control our enemies without fear, and confront our enemies without fear. No time for talking too much. It's time for action, and action speaks louder than words. And that's what we're doing. We're in the time of actions, and that's why you will not see Maxi Samanepa coming to talk much these days. He will be doing the action. The actions will be going on. He's not going to come on and start talking. The time of talking, it is us now that will be talking. We will be doing more of the talking. He will just relax, and just the action will be taking place, and then the actions will be going, and we will be speaking. We will just be talking to people, talking to the hearts of people like Blinken and all those people to understand that we are doing the right thing. That's what we are here for. Samanepa is a true son of Biafra land. Period. Thank you so much. Biafra must come. He said, thank you, Freedom. Freeman says, how I wish this man will hear this and repent from his evil mind. He will definitely. They will tell him, they will give him reports. With him, the magic Biafra must come. We stand with Mazi Samanepa. Yes, so Antony, thank you so much for that. We stand with him always. Biafra must come. He said, thank you, face red droppy eyes, face red droppy eyes. Okay, I think I'm understanding that grammar this time around. HK Kinsley, we stand with Samanepa and we must fight to restore our nation. Time of complaining has gone. Our leader has said everything. So our duty is to fight now. And that is our duty. And that is what we're doing. We're fighting now and we'll fight until we win. We stand with Samanepa. Mokike Daberichi, thank you so much, Mokike. Good to see you again today. And as usual, Biafra must come. He say, I've posted those codes. You know, that's those codes. Another code here also. We have Mokike Daberichi says, please like, please like this video as you are there. Just like it, share it on all your social media platforms. Let the people listen to this and let them forward it far and wide until Antony Blinken, his brothers and sisters, his cousins and his nephew will see it also and ask him questions. It seems these people listen to this Antony Blinken when his mother picks it, or maybe I don't know whether his mother is still alive, or his father, or his uncles, or his brothers, or his sisters, or people around him get the video from another source and they say, wow, Antony Blinken, you have been talked about in this program. Please, what is going on? And then he will have to explain. You know, And then when he explains this video, they will watch the video and they say, no, it seems what you're saying now does not coincide with this. Look at this video, this killing. Let's go to the State Department and get more facts. What is going on? Or maybe they'll send a message to us and say, please give us more facts, give us more videos, and let's know what is happening. And then maybe they will now call the man that spoke in 1967, if he's still alive, and say, man, you were in Nigeria, and of course you were saying some things that relates to what this man, this Kelechi Ambrose, is saying also. It seems that this thing you're saying is very serious, and please give us more info. And you'll give them more info. So hit the like button, share, because whatever you can do now, what that little share, that sharing you are doing alone, and that like you are doing alone can help make this message go very far. And that subscribing and clicking the notification button will help also for you to get more messages. The war will start next month. It's not too far. 38 days to go, and we are there. AGK, thank you so much, AGK Kinsley. Margaret Jogwe says like, please everybody like. Margaret Jogwe, you were calling in then. You can still call if you want to. You can still call in if you want to. You were calling after all then, but someone was on call, so you can still call in. AGK Kinsley says we can't complain anymore. No, we can't complain. We are tired of complaining. We can't complain again. We are not in that business of complaining. We're in the business of action, and action now. Margaret Jogwe, in Assemblies of God Church those days, they say youth. What's that? Youth action. There's action now. One slogan in our youth department in Assemblies of God Church those days. So I just remember that now. Margaret Jogwe says, please share. Please, let's share this video. Share it on all your social media platforms. Good evening, Crescendo. Where have you been, Ngozi? Where have you been? Good evening, sir. Good to have you. Crescendo, thank you so much. The British says to mourn and complaining is over. The last election in Nigeria was fraudulently defrauded by the United Nations representatives. It's all over in social media. Yes, they did, because right from time, even the first election was rigged by the British. They inflated the census figures of the North, telling us that the Northerners are more than us, whereas we have more numbers than them, because they wanted to rig the election on behalf of the Fulani's. And that's what they have done. Until date, they are using that template. When their representatives come in, they still use that template to control the figures and to do what they have to do. And they shield the evil, they cover the evil, because they know Nigeria is not a country or nation. They have to use all these evils because it is a tyrannical system and a terrorist construct. So that's it. Freeman says that is why they contracted someone as Buhari. That's it. It's easy for them to carry out such kinds of program and nobody says anything. For them to cover that kind of program, know that everything they do and they are doing is against the people. For them to cover the program of that Buhari, that masked man, which Mazin Namdekan was talking about, they refused to bring out the case in the allegations against him. They refused to bring it out. Which people will not capitalize on the fact that they have kidnapped him and use that means as use that case as the number one point. But because it is true, that is why they can't use it. Because if they use it, they are going to go down with that. So, and nobody's saying anything. United States, UN, nobody's saying anything. Nobody's even asking questions. Did this man say the right thing? Everybody's quiet. When the Queen sent her condolence and withdrew it, nobody said anything. Everybody pretended nothing is happening. That's why we know that there is this hypocrisy going on. That's why what we do, preaching to them, like Antony Blinken, we're telling him now, is just for us to say it because we have to say it, because we have been sent to say it. And the words will stand as evidences against them. That's why we say it. We're tired of complaining, so it's time to fight. HK Kinsley, thank you so much for that. Eunice, good morning, Mr. Kelechi Ambrose. Hope you're well. Yes, I'm fine, I'm well, thank you. And hope you're well too, Uchechi. Thank you so much for that. William Martin, William Martin. And text bring game over. Oh Lord have mercy. That code must be unique. And Aubrey's Dish says, time to mourn. Okay, now you've corrected that stuff. The other time was to mourn, okay? Time to mourn and complaining is over. It was the United Nations representatives that came for the last election, fraudulently defrauded, the election, and that's it. And so we know all of those details, and then we move on with what we are set to do to stop all those details from happening anymore. HK Kinsley says we will surprise Nigeria next month. Great war is loading, and that is it. And the war, we are not the ones who are calling the war, or who is calling the war. They have called the war, they have brought the war to us, we will fight back. Our fighting back will be more brutal. Like I preached yesterday, when you have a virus, when you want to deal with a virus, you bring up something that is stronger than the virus, using the features of that virus to create the antivirus. to destroy the virus. That's what we're doing. So the fight back is going to be stronger than their fight, and we're going to defeat them. That's what it is. It's so painful how the UN kept mute over Biafra issue. Let's know. Thank you. That's it. They just kept quiet. You are very right there. Just kept quiet. They're not saying anything. And Freeman says the Vietnam or the Vietnamese. Yes, that's it. So that's it. The man said it then. He said, yes, that we are like the Vietnamese. We are resilient. We are determined. Look at that lady saying that her father was sliced into two like bread. She said, like bread, they sliced my father into two. But we are determined. Biafra will come. Even a small child knows. That's what she said. Prophetic lady. Eunice Uchechi says, see Blinken will end in shame. Secretary Blinken, okay, will end in shame. Let's wait. Let's hope he listens to our voice and our call and do the right thing. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. Educating citizens, my brother. Our leader has done everything necessary for the international communities to intervene, but they kept deaf ear. But this time we will show them that this is not 1967. That's correct, my brother. Thank you so much, Mr. Antony. Keep blinking onto Biafra. Set free, leaving us, and Chukumobi. Leaving us, he says, she keep blinking. All right, he has to blink and just do the right thing. Margaret Jogboy says, Mazikelechi, blinking, you can do all you can. We don't care. We stand for no election in Biafra land, period. Thank you so much, Margaret Jogboy, then, for that message. Maybe that's the message you want to give. That's why you didn't call again. Freeman, we will fight to the last man, as she said, and that is what we are doing. That is it. That is what we're doing, and we are going to increase the tempo. Educate says everybody that comes out to vote in the Biafra land next month will use the person's head for prepare more charm. That the continuation of the war. We know our people are not going to come out. So you saw the last seat at home Monday and Tuesday. So people are determined. Biafrans know what is happening. So forget about all this propaganda and all of that. People are determined. It is the Nigerian people that will even use their head for their charm, for the charm. We don't kill people because it is the people we want to save. But anybody who comes out prepared to, their head will go, because the Nigeria contraption will cut your head and use your head as a propaganda. So that's what they do. So you better stay indoors and save yourself. Somebody did a comedy, said, when you tell an African to stay indoors, tell them to stay indoors. Everybody will want to come out to see if anybody is staying indoors or people are outside. Oh my God, I don't know. I need to drink more water. Sorry, please. You know, when you talk too much, your throat begins to dry, and then you need water to fertilize it. Selauzuka, I think it's on that video that the video I played that you're reacting to. It's so painful. Kennedy Obilo says, all must hail Biafra. Yes, all must hail Biafra, and that is what the actions we carry will make them hail Biafra directly or indirectly, whether they like it or not. That is it. Freeman, thank you so much for that. Correct to something. Anybody that comes out to vote in Biafra land next month will use the person's head. Okay, you have mentioned this before. We have said that this is a Nigerian contraption that will even behead them and use them for propaganda. You know, okay, Chai, Freeman. Okay, you're reacting to the video I played or something. He said these are children born by mothers. That's it. That's it. Those are the things they did to us. And Uzuka responded to that, and Christian also responded. It's so painful this happening, that these things are happening. Daniel Jocko says, hi, words are not enough to express my joy for you or media personnel, the wonderful autopilot, the dragon himself, NSC, Nehemiah 1:5-6. God bless Biafra Republic. He said, thank you so much, Daniel, my brother. Thank you so much. Human beings are evil, but God will visit everyone according to their deeds. Stella Uzuka. That's it. That's it. Men were killed and put in Uzu River. And by that same Peter Obi, that Blinken is coming to say that you must allow election to hold for his sake and for the sake of other people. Those criminals, HK Kingsley, this is time for actions, and action speaks louder than words. We can't wait to redeclare Biafra next nation next month. That's it. We're going to declare it and nothing will happen. We're going to get our nation and we'll stop every evil that comes against us. HK Kingsley, and we must fight to defend our Biafra nation. That is it. We must fight to defend our Biafra nation. Diana Ogunbiade says, well done. Mazikelechi, God Almighty will continue to strengthen you all autopiloters on this liberation gospel to freedom. Thank you all. Thank you so much, my sister, for that. Also, we appreciate you for also being here, because you being here is also part of it, doing the right work and the right thing to do. Zuka still feeling the effect of that, of the videos and all of it. So painful. Dewo Mazikelechi, Elohim is your strength. All hail Biafra. Oluchi Mwagon. Thank you so much, Oluchi Mwagon. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you. Good man, David. God bless you, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much, my good man. And God bless you too. Margaret, a great job. Where it says, you sometimes, I don't know. Okay, you sometimes, I don't know what to say, but it is not the fault of this military, the eastern governors and the politicians that agree for them to come in and carry out this stupid killing in Biafra. That is why we're going to open their chapters. By the time we get Biafra, we're going to know how to deal with them, you know, with our laws. So let's be ready. The spirit of Biafra is working. So don't worry about that. They are going to be brought under to justice. Rose Oluchi says, thank you for our Lord God Almighty, Holy Spirit, divine presence, for to all that concerns United States of Biafra, Jesus Christ, leadership bestowed upon Biafra people, land, worldwide. In Jesus' name. He said, thank you so much, Rose Oluchi, for the message. And let me go to my brother, Nikachu. Okay, he said USA, UK, UN, EU, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan sponsoring and abating. That's it. They're sponsoring, and that is the fact. There are evidences all over the place. The caliphate conquest in Nigeria. Yes, they are very, very well. And of course, as according to my preaching yesterday, if you remember, I told you about what the Arab nation is doing with the caliphate, and that they are the extension of the caliphate's order and actions. Rose Oluchi says Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be united with his own families, United States of Biafra worldwide. Okay, thank you, our Lord God, Almighty Holy Spirit, divine presence, taking control of Igbo land, Igbo people in Jesus' name. He said, thank you so much, Rose Oluchi, for that prayer. Also, Ma Gloria Matthias says, greetings to you, great Biafrans. Thank you so much, Ma Matthias. Good to have you again today. Odinaka Chukwu says, I feel very ashamed. Imagine, honestly, it's so painful when you see certain things like this. Odinaka Chukwu says, so sad. And it's very, very sad indeed. Though we don't want to Umo Biafra, Odinaka Chukwu says that to us. Collins, Ihuaku. Is that what it is? Global Peace Index from your judgment about indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Global Peace Index. Okay, Global Peace Index. Odinaka Chukwu says they know the truth. We need to mobilize our people and arm ourselves to the brim. Imagine begging your fellow man. Oh Lord have mercy. Sometimes the injustice is so much that when you want to think about it, sometimes I break down, but I have to be strong because the joy of the Lord is our strength. We're going to get there. We're getting free. Collins says Global Peace Index from your judgment about indigenous people of Biafra. Okay, Global Peace Index. You know, you're talking about not Global Terrorism Index now, Global Peace Index. So we are there. That is what it is to restore peace, is to fight this war they have brought to us. Because if we don't fight the war, it's just like when you bring an antivirus, it fights the virus. The virus is already at war with the body, for instance, and you bring a vaccine, it goes to fight the virus. So it doesn't mean that the antivirus is bringing war. It's only reacting to the war, but with more sophisticated approach now. That is what we are doing. We are attacking them now, fighting them with more sophisticated weapons, because they came with us, they come to us with war, because we're asking for freedom. Odinaka Chukwu says, shame is catching me seriously. It is so painful, my brother. It's so painful. Nna Patience, Akwan. It's been a long time. Greetings to you, my brother. Thank you so much, Nna Patience. Good to have you again today. Odinaka Chukwu says, yes, for record purposes and to clear our conscience. Yes, that's why we're doing what we're doing. So not because we want to beg. No. God bless you, my sister and mommy Patricia. Eunice Uchechi, talking about the comment, the statement from our sister. You know, beauty for Christ says, we stand with Simon Ekman. Yes, that's what we're doing and we'll continue to do. John Almeida says, thank you so much, Brother Kelechi, for the comprehensive report. Thank you so much, my brother. We have to do that, and thank you so much for being here also to support that. Benjamin Uche says, whatever Mazi Simon Ekman said, we are going to do. Yes, whatever he says, we do. Whatever, that's why we're waiting for instruction. Macon X says, we are Biafrans. We know our root. And that's the fact. We know our roots. We're not going back. Benjamin Uche says, whatever Mazi Simon Ekman said, that is what we are going to do. Yes, Benjamin Uche, that's what we're going to do. And of course, Macon says, yes, that's it. And we have Neka and says, thank you. That's it. Clement says, Fulani Nigeria Limited. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's it. So thanks from Onyekachi Mikachuku says thanks to that. Thanks for your for youth. God bless you. Uchenna Enenike, good to have you again. Uchenna, good to see you here again. Thank you. God preserve me. We need to rally around Mazi Samaneba and our spokesperson supporting him against actions of saboteur. I don't want him to be kidnapped now. A few days to go. He can't be kidnapped. Remain sacrosanct. Eyes remain on the ball. He's not going to kidnap. We'll be talking more now. He's not going to be coming all out to be talking always now. We will be talking. We will be doing the talking. So you guys should just adjust to that. And actions will be going on. The antivirus will be killing the virus called Fulani, the virus called Nigeria. I actually wanted to write an article today, but tomorrow I'm going to write it. The virus called Nigeria. I'm going to write it. I'm going to circulate it. You're going to read it around. Can't wait for your program with Citizen AY, Dr. Ngozi, and Mazi Prince Azim. Yes, tomorrow. Thank you, Eunice, for reminding me. Oh my God. Tomorrow is the program. Let me see if I can see the program here so that I can post it here so that people can see it. I think I need to. Oh Lord have mercy. I hope I have it. 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 I hope I have it here. I hope I have it here. Let me see if I have it here. Let me see if I can get it here so that I can give you guys. You guys can see it because that program is tomorrow. But it's just that it's going to appear in a reversed manner. It's not going to appear in the normal way it should appear. But anyways, but okay, it will appear well if I post it here. I think. Let me see if I can have it and then post it here for you guys to see. The program is tomorrow. We have Citizen AY. He's going to be live on the program here, and he's going to be joining live on this platform 4 p.m. tomorrow. Citizen AY, Prince Azim, Hienacho, and Ngozi Orabweze will be here live on the show, and we shall be talking critically on these issues that concerns us all. Let me see if I can see that and that awareness program document. Yes, I think it is here. I've seen it. Thank you for reminding me, my sister Uchechi, and thank you, Eunice. Thank you so much, Uchechi Eunice, for that reminder. So let me post it. As soon as it appears, it's trying to boot. I don't know. The thing is taking time now to bring this in. Okay, it has come. So now let me display the program here. Let me see. Now this is the program. Tomorrow they will be here. Citizen AY. We'll have Citizen AY. We're going to have Dr. Ngozi Orabweze. We're also going to have. Let me see if I can remove the message so I can see the document very well. You can watch live on Biafra Global Network on YouTube. You can watch live on Biafra Global Network page on Facebook. You can watch live on Kelechi Ambrose on Twitter. Kelechi Ambrose on Twitter. You'll see the Kelechi Ambrose on Twitter. This program will be streamed, not some people call it scream. I've heard people say scream. So stream live. They'll say scream. And I keep correcting it. They still keep using it. It's funny, but it's good anyways. It will be streamed live 4 p.m. Biafra time tomorrow. Let's get our people to be here, and we're going to get the facts here. Citizen AY will be here. It's the Alliance, the Alliance in Focus program live with Oduduwa and Biafra nations, religion and its impact on the quest for freedom. And we're going to look at this context of religion and the angle of British design, the angle of Fulani design, the angle of the United Nations and the Americas, and all of that. And in the angle of the Americas has to do with their policies, which Blinken is part of, and which, of course, is going to be part of what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be Friday, tomorrow, 27th January 2023, 4 p.m. Biafra Oduduwa time. Please be here. Prince Ezemi Hienacho will be here live. I think there's something covering his face, Let me see if I can remove that thing covering his face for now, so that you guys can see it, and then you guys can, so that's it. So tomorrow it's going to be live on the show, live here on the show. So I've removed it. You can see Prince Ism here live. You can see his face. You can see Citizen AY. So they're all going to be here live tomorrow, and please get ready for this powerful program. Tomorrow is going to be something else. I tell you, we're going to discuss in details, powerful details. Tomorrow is going to be wonderful. So please prepare yourself tomorrow as you join in that program. Thank you for reminding me, Uchechi, for that reminder. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Let me see. Let me go back to the messages. Okay, let me go first. Let me remove this one here first. Move it. What's going on? Why is this thing not working as fast as it should work? So go away now. Okay, now we're back to the messages, and then let me go back to the message that we have. The last message was from Eunice. Where is the last message? Okay, I can't wait to. Okay, that's the last message. So I'll continue from here. I can't wait for the program with Citizen AY, Dr. Ngozi, and Mazi Prince Ezem. Yes, that is it. And tomorrow is going to be explosive. I'm going to tell you, we're going to begin with description of Nigeria. We're going to begin with the issue of describing Nigeria tomorrow. It's going to be powerful tomorrow. Join us tomorrow. All hail Biafra, Uchechi and Enike. Thank you so much, Uchechi, for Uchenna. Sorry. And it was Uchechi that sent that message initially about the program that I just moved. And this name, I can't pronounce it anyway, YT, Utik, and all of that. What is the message? I don't know what you're asking here, my brother or my sister. Onyekachi says, thanks for your good works. I wasn't fit physically, but I'm getting better. No wonder, I was wondering where you've been. Sorry, my brother. I was even wondering why you can't call. Maybe that's why you couldn't call, because I know that you would have wanted to call to talk about this matter on Blinken. So sorry, please be fine. And Eunice says, exactly, I also tagged them on my Facebook post and Twitter with this program. Oh, wow, that's good. Thank you so much, my sister Eunice. And thank you so much for that. We stand with Simon Ekpa. Yes, we do. Yes, thank you so much. And of course, I have to be hurry now. I have to hurry because of time. We must be medially ruthless against these Western imperialists. Onyekachuku, AK. Thank you so much, my brother, for that. Don't expect anything from the Blinken administration. It's the most corrupt U.S. administration in history. Well, it's not just about Blinken administration. Even when Obama and other people have been there, it's from the time of Biafra, from the time of John Kennedy, all of them. Nobody said anything about the killings of the people. So it's not about this administration. It's about USA and the policy of USA against Biafra people. Makonek says we are good to go and nothing will stop us. Even if I die in this freedom, I will never regret, because Biafra will come this year. He said, thank you so much, Macon. I like the spirit. My brother Onyekachuku says the lives of Biafrans are not priority to them, but our resources are. That is it. So painful that they want our resources, but they don't care about who we are. And Tricia says, I'm believing that all these countries supporting the evil entity Nigeria is as evil as they are. Yes, that's it. You can't. There's no hide. There's no cold side and hot. There's no center side. So they are hot. You are cold in this matter. Blessing Chuku says UN and the world peace, the world powers. Biafra lives. Biafra lives. Okay, you should have used capital letters here so that lives matter. Okay, thank you so much. Blessing Chuku. UN and world powers. You are speaking to them, telling them Biafra lives matter. Yes, not black lives this time. Biafra lives. Shidubem Michael says we must go home come next month. That is it. We must go home. Olakunle, all hail Biafra and Oduduwa Republic. Thank you so much, my Oduduwa brother, for being here. Tomorrow we're going to have you also here. We're going to have AY, here, Citizen AY here, and other Biafra people on the Alliance program tomorrow. That stream says yes, the action online. That's it. Thank you so much, that stream, for that program. Okike Daberichi says, Mazi, we missed you on Twitter Space. Yes, of course, but this Monday I'm going to be live on Twitter Space. This Monday by 10 a.m. on Twitter Space, I'm going to be hosting the program. And on that program, we're going to be talking about our different ideas of what we think we need to do to make Biafra the best in the world. And you are going to bring your ideas, I'm going to bring my ideas, and we're going to have it powerful on Twitter Space on Monday. So definitely live 10 a.m. Biafra Oduduwa time. Oduduwa people, join us. Let's see how we're going to talk about our nations, how we're going to work together even as separate nations, Oduduwa and Biafra, and how we can work in synergy. In that meeting, we're going to be discussing it on Twitter Space on Monday live. So please, everyone, write it somewhere and set a reminder for 10 a.m. Biafra time. We shall be there. So thank you, Trisha, for concern, for observing that I have not been there. Thank you so much. If Biafrans come, Okay, Twitter. It was Daberichi that was saying that. Daberichi Mokike that is talking about as we miss you on Twitter Space. I'll be there live, of course. And so, and Trisha says, should Biafrans succumb, Afghanistan Afghanistan would be better than Nigeria. That's it. Yes, because this time around they are going to come ruthlessly on us. We're not Arabs, they're going to come ruthlessly on us. So Nigeria must go down, and together we shall break the camel's back. Oh, like Lord have mercy. I like my Oduduwa brothers talking like this. Olakunle, thank you so much for that message. We must go down, we break the camel's back. And Monica Chico says, those acclaimed world leaders have shown the high level of blindness or biasness towards the plight of Biafrans being engineered by using its proxy Sahelian Fulani immigrants. Oh my God. You just wonder the kinds of people they're using it against us. You begin to get so angry in your spirit. Action Online, Dark Stream, thank you so much. Dark Stream. God preserve me. Let's get to work more than much talk. More application and planning silently. My brother, there are lots of work going on the ground, and we must sustain. See, you can't undermine the media campaign and this work we are doing on media. It's very, very powerful tool for this cause, I'm telling you. So don't undermine this talking. But let me tell you, we're not just talking. We are doing the work we're doing on the ground now is more than what they talk. We even talk. So just understand that, my brother. God preserve me. Water, Lakunle. Yes, so water. My Oduduwa brother have adopted that water code. Our Igbo brothers will call it woto, because our language makes us speak somehow. Woto. Warri people will say water, because it's a Warri slang. Water. Warri will say water. Yorubas too will say water because of the language, the way they pronounce things. But Igbos will say woto. It's so funny when I hear an Igbo man pronounce it woto. It's good anyways. Anyhow, it is water. Pro Max. Anyhow, it is whether woto or water. All now water, all now to, and to. I'm Trisha says that's what the Americans do that triggers assailant, giving them water. Oh Lord have mercy. And Trisha, good to get that message from you. Release us to take what belongs to us. Youths are angry. Native doctors have prepared us. We need action. Let's live street fight and enter real fight. Let's leave street fight and enter real fight with our enemies. We have entered already. We have 38 days to go for the real action to commence big time. And even before then, there have never been election in Nigeria, but only selection. We must end that madness now. That's it, my brother Olakunle. Good to have that message from you. God preserve me, says Rakelechi. Thanks so much for your exposition. More grace to you and others. Remain blessed always. He say to your prayers, thank you. We are freedom fighters on earth. Thank you so much. Yes, we are. Dark stream. Okay, that's no wonder your messages have been odd. You're talking about saying online stuff online. I say, what's this guy talking about? So you're a stupid person who came here, e-frog that came here to talk nonsense. You're talking about a salmonella killing pregnant to me. You are stupid. All the Fulani is cutting your necks. You have not said anything. You're coming to talk about salmonella killing, and because they told you to sit at home, you refuse to sit at home, and then you come here to talk nonsense. If you don't let me block you, if all these things you are saying does not make you have sense, this dark. No wonder your name is Dark something. You are very stupid. You're saying salmonella killed pregnant woman. Can you imagine the kind of narrative? Does it make sense to you? You just sell unnecessary narrative that make no sense. That we come here telling them the Fulanis have been cutting your necks, killing people, butchering people. You have been seeing the video around. You have not come to make propagation and all of this, calling that marksman in Ausoro and calling him out and spreading messages. You come to my platform here to come and talk nonsense. You this e-frog. You must be very stupid. Macon X. You are well prepared both spiritually and physically. If you think you'll get all it takes to stop Biafra, come out. Let's use your part for experiment. My brother, we are ready, very ready. What set says water? You want to say water? I think and set one chair. Thank you so much, Seth. It's been a long time I saw you here, Seth. And Maritia Olu Abara. We stand with Marita. This Abara sounds like I'm suspecting this name Abara. It seems like somebody I know. Anyways, let me keep my quiet for now. Look at these idiots coming here to post. I'll just leave you here so that you can be watching. I think what I need to do is keep you where you belong, so that you can be watching and just watching from where you are watching. You know, it's everywhere. Don't have them sense. So we have a water from Seth. Seth says water. And Macon X. I like this Macon X. Call us anything. We are fighting our freedom. That's it. We are fighting our freedom for our freedom. That's it. Ben says, yes, you are doing well. You're a man of words and letters. Mazi Mechuku Kike, continue to strengthen you. He said, thank you so much, Ben. He says, say to your prayers, we stand with Simon Ekpa, blessing. Message from Blessing Chuku. We stand with Simon Ekpa. Thank you so much. Blessing for that. Odinaka Chuku says, we stand with Simon Ekpa. Yes, so we do. Thank you so much. And then we have Maconex says, they are deploying stupid squad. But they no say squad past squad. I promise una say una no go see us, but una head will be rolling down like ball. Don't worry, my brother, don't mind those idiots. They are preparing squad, and they will come to social media to display the squad. Stupid people. They don't know that we are already backed, both spiritually and everything already. They are coming to bribe some of this RC in our land, and those ones will go down too. You know, using them, you know, to show that they are in control spiritually. But we are in control spiritually. Olakunle says Eunice Uchechi. Yes, I saw it on Koiki timeline. Okay. Oh, you saw it, right? Oh, that's good. That's good. So that's cool. So season AY, well, again, he was appearing in Radio Biafra with DOS program. Be careful with this man. Forget it, Mary. We are talking about our freedom. Let him appear, but we know we're talking about freedom. Here, he's going to speak the right thing. He has come to join the right people. So don't worry about that, master. Don't worry. See, you guys should just, the spirit is in control. You know, Ade, we stand with Mazi Samanepa. Thank you so much, Ade, for that. Ade, good to get you here. Victoria Ogechi, we stand with Samanepa. Yes, so we stand with him. Mary, okay, don't worry, Mary. Hope he's not going to be green snake under green grass. Don't worry, Mary. Relax yourself. Just watch the program tomorrow and see what goes on. You know, Victoria Ogechi, God bless Biafra, Oduduwa Nation. That's it. God bless Biafra, Oduduwa Nation. Blessing Chuku. It's AY back again because he doesn't know his stand. Blessing Chuku. You guys should just relax. Don't castigate people very quickly. Relax yourself and watch, observe, and keep watching and observing, especially our Oduduwa people, you know, because they are not Biafrans. AY doesn't even know what is happening internally in Biafra. He doesn't know who is a saboteur and who is not a saboteur. He just sees that people are there talking about Biafra. So we are, when they begin to see things happen, like Koiki and Co have seen, they're now speaking. So they will begin to understand. So don't worry yourself. Mary Kay, relax, huh? Steve says, imagine Biafrans without Mazi Samanepa and Ndi Umuada. That's it. So imagine Biafra without people that have stood up, without Mazi Samanepa, without Umuada, without everyone who is fighting, without you and I. So Eminike Chibo says, greetings, Biafrans. Thank you so much, Eminike. Good to have you here again today. Greetings, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much. Good evening to you too. Thank you, my brother. And Karibia says, Kelechi, you are doing great work for Biafrans. Yeah, I have to, because that's what Koki have told me to do. Idika Achoro, my beloved, I miss you. I miss you too, but you have not been here. You know, that's why I'm missing you more, because it's been a long time. You are doing great. Thank you so much. Love from here too to you. Thank you so much. It's been a while. You've not been here. I know that's work also. Let me come and do the work on grateful people. Let him come and do the work on grateful people. You are responding to one of those people, right? Yes, that's it. So, and thank you so much, my sister, for being there. You know, God save, says all hail Biafra. Chinedu God save. Thank you so much, Chinedu God save, for that. All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Masculine, you have since AY stopped hating on the Dragon Simon Steve J. Let's watch. Tomorrow just listen to him, and we'll know what you will listen to him live, and then we'll know whether he has repented or not. You know, we it's about converting people. You know, we don't conclude. We work with people and make sure that we convert them to the truth. So 90 says greetings from Yoruba Nation. Thank you so much, 90. Good to have you here. We have our Oduduwa people are well represented here. Eunice Uchechi said, don't worry, Mary Citizen, AY has found out the truth that was a month ago before the alliance. Wow, that's it. So let's give people benefits of doubt and also get them. That we want to win as many as we can win. That's why Master Simon Ekpa is still calling on the remaining militants in the Niger Delta to come, because this battle is for us alone, all for us all. It's not just for few people. Thanks, Master Kelechi. Please tell MSC Autopilot ESN to take Asari Dokubo and APC very serious, because they are preparing to cause mayhem in Biafra in Zoo. Who is Asari, my brother? Nathaniel. Who is Asari compared to 70 million people? Asari, how many people does he control? What does he have? Leave Asari. Asari is just a noise maker. We not, that doesn't mean we're underrating them, but know that we are in charge. Don't worry. When the time comes, Asari himself, we know that he has to save himself. Working from Yoruba Nation right in Lagos State. Wow, 90 at 90. Thank you so much. All the way from Oduduwa Nation, Yoruba Nation. Thank you so much, 90. Nothing can the Biafra Nation, including the Oduduwa Nation. Nothing can stop Oduduwa Nation. Nothing can stop Biafra Nation. Yes, 90, and nothing can stop Oduduwa Nation. I watched him with the DOS meeting calling names. Don't worry, Steve J. Don't worry. Relax, man. Relax, brother. God save says Biafra is here. No going back, no going down, no backing down. Thank you so much. And the last message here, 90. I'm proudly Yoruba, but I love the movement of Biafra Nation. Wow. Thank you so much. And we love you, Yoruba people, because we are all one. We do things together. We can stay together. We can live together. We can marry. We have this cordial relationship. So, and that is what the Fulanis hate, and they want to keep putting that enmity, but it's not going to work. I want to thank you all. This is 2 hours, 30 minutes. You've been here. Tomorrow, prepare yourself for the program with AY, Citizen AY, and other people who are going to be here on the Alliance program, the Alliance in Focus. It's going to be wonderful tomorrow, 4 p.m. Biafra Oduduwa time. It's going to be live here, and I can assure you that it's going to be powerful. It's going to be a great one. I can assure you that it is going to be great. I can tell you that it is going to be something else. So please get your bounce on, prepare yourself. We have spoken to Antony Blinken today. We're expecting him to make a change and a turnaround and begin to do the right thing and speak and advise the President of the United States properly, because his position is as the chief security officer. He's supposed to speak, to the chief advisor to the president. He's supposed to speak to the president on right matters and details, and tell the president the right thing, so that they can do the right thing, and all of that. So please let him do the needful, and we Biafra people are ready to be friends to any nation of the world that love truth and freedom. Thank you so much, all. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and I appreciate you all for being here and for your time and for everything that you are, and everything. I appreciate you guys. We have 38 days to go. Please prepare yourself. Be secure. Tomorrow we will talk more. On Saturday, I'm going to bring more narrative to you and facts to you, and I'm going to speak more on, being careful and alertness and all of that. Thank you so much, all. I love you all. I can see your messages coming in, but I can't go on with messages anymore because of time and because I've used almost about 1 hour on messages. So thank you. I thank those who have called. Tomorrow is another opportunity to call in the program when AY. You can ask Citizen AY any question, like Steve J and Mary Ike. You can ask him questions tomorrow and ask him where he stands tomorrow, and he'll be fed. At least he'll talk to you and make you understand some things tomorrow. So when he comes tomorrow, you can now ask him questions, and all of that, and then we can know from your questions, where he stands. That will also help you to understand what is going on. So it is very important that we should understand that we need everybody to come together, and that's why we're doing everything to make sure that we are all in this thing, on the path of truth, to make sure that we get the same results. I appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Please like this video if you have not liked it. Share on all your social media platforms. Let the people hear the news and the message to Blinken and everybody. And also subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed, so that we can increase our stance and grow this channel on YouTube, and then we can reach out to the globe and to the world. It is very, very important. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, all. I love you all. Stay blessed all through the day as we prepare to go into our freedom. Oduduwa Nation, Biafra Nation, and other nations that are ready to be freed. Thank you so much for all those who want to work, who want to fight for their freedom in other nations. You can take a cue from Biafra and do the needful and join us. And as soon as we march, you join us to save your nation. Thank you all. It's my pleasure. Elohim bless you very good.